G'day team, and welcome back to our series Veterans, episode 10, the last one in the series. And before I start today, I'd really like to thank all of you for joining us for the last 10 weeks, myself and Stephen, as we talk through all things veterans, talked about a number of different hard subjects, I might add, as well as had a look at things like the Australian Defence Medal. And today I'd like to also thank you for the opportunity of being part of your Remembrance Day as you have a look at our episode 10 as we talk about Remembrance Day and its meaning. Look, a little bit of history on myself, which we have sort of gone into, but I spent 8.5 years in the Australian Defence Force. During that time, I was lucky enough to go to Malaysia, went through up into Thailand, I'm over the top end of Borneo into Sarawak. As well as that, was on exchange in 95 in Scotland, did the guard on Edinburgh Castle, and in 97 was on exchange and served with the British Army in Canada and also Bosnia. Returned from there, went into the School of Military Engineering and was a mine warfare and demolitions instructor and also a search advisor instructor. Left the Defence Force and started a business, and basically now I'm pretty well semi-retired and able to mentor both veterans and young people. That's a little bit about myself. I was also extremely lucky. I was the parade marshal for our local area for 14 years and was at the start of what is now known as Invictus Australia, but it used to be called RSL Active back many moons ago, and we were at the start of that movement, getting young and old men and women into sport, whether it be skiing or whatever, the Invictus Games and the like. So today, Remembrance Day. Well, on the 11th hour of the 11th day, the 11th month in 1918, the guns fell silent in World War I. That was the war to end all wars. And basically, you know, that was a big worldwide event. And what I mean by that is it ties us, Australia, in with the rest of the world. And so from then on, Remembrance Day has been recognised. Now, since then, obviously, our men and women have served in other areas and other theatres such as the Second World War, Vietnam, Korea, peacekeeping, enforcing operations in Somalia, Rwanda, Bosnia, Timor, Solomon Islands, as well as combat operations in Iraq and Afghanistan, and as well as smaller deployments all around the world. So this involvement of our defence forces, our men and women, representing our nations, have seen them pay the ultimate sacrifice. And this leads me to Remembrance Day. So Remembrance Day, as I said, is one of those things that we share with the world community. I was lucky enough to march on Remembrance Day in the UK in 2013, one of the best events I've ever attended, most well-organised events I've ever attended. And I can get to say that I paraded with the Queen because she was there and so was all the royal family. They actually laid a wreath. The point of it was I was able to mix, and you know, there was other Australians there marching as well as Canadians and people from the Commonwealth. It's a really wonderful day. But it's about commemorating and remembering those men and women that have given or paid the ultimate sacrifice in defence of a nation, whether it be peacekeeping missions now, as I said, in this modern era, right through to obviously World War I. So we basically get together and, as you know, have a service, and we talk about what this means to people. What does it mean to the modern veteran? Look, that's a very personal thing. To me, it's a time that I reflect on those that paid the ultimate sacrifice, that allow us the freedoms that we now have. As well as that, I reflect on our young men and women that are now getting out of the Defence Force and that we have to help and that we need to be there for. The defence community, the ex-service community has its politics, has all of these things, and we've discussed this during the series. But at the end of the day, the important thing is that we look after our veteran community. So to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about the Australian Defence Medal last time we met, and that was in episode 9. And so I ask you on today, during Remembrance Day, if you see any of our service men and women or anyone with the Australian Defence Medal, go up to them, say g'day and thank them for their service. And remember, those are the words that you want to use. Thank you for your service to this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd really like to thank Steve Centipento and 2CC for giving me the opportunity to present this series to you and bring it to you on Capital Radio Canberra. I also would like to thank you, the viewer. And last but not least, I say to all the veterans out there, both young, old, that are those still serving, thank you for your service to our nation. This is Scott signing off for the last time on episode 10, Veterans. See you later, team.